Title: How Stalin's Deadliest Killer Erased an Entire Nation's Elite. Imagine 22,000 of your country's smartest people just vanishing. In the spring of 1940, that's exactly what happened to Poland's best and brightest. For 50 years, their fate was a complete mystery, wrapped in a massive lie. The Soviet Union actually blamed the Nazis for a massacre they found in the Katyn forest. But the real story is so much crazier. It all started with a secret order from Stalin himself, given to one man he trusted to get the job done. We're diving into how the world's most prolific executioner, a man who personally shot 7,000 people in just 28 days, was given the insane task of wiping out an entire nation's leadership, and how the truth was buried for half a century. It all starts in 1939 with one of the most insane deals in history. Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union literally signed a pact to be friends, but secretly they agreed to split Poland right down the middle. First, Hitler's armies invaded from the west. Then, just a few weeks later, Stalin's Red Army rolled in from the east. Poland was completely trapped between two giant powers and stood zero chance. In the area the Soviets took over, they captured 250,000 Polish soldiers. But they weren't just taking soldiers. The Soviets were grabbing the entire brain of the Polish nation. We're talking military officers, cops, doctors, lawyers, professors, priests. Literally anyone who could lead a resistance was rounded up and thrown into prison camps. They told them they'd be released eventually, but as the months went by, a terrifying plan was being cooked up in Moscow. This is where it gets wild. The head of Stalin's secret police, a guy named Lavrenti Beria, sent a top-secret memo to Stalin on March 5, 1940. In it, he called the nearly 22,000 Polish prisoners hardened enemies and recommended the ultimate punishment: shooting them all. And Stalin just signed it. He and his top guys literally signed a death warrant for 22,000 people. But to pull off something this huge, you need a very specific person. You need someone with zero hesitation, no conscience, and an insane talent for what they called black work. And Stalin had the perfect guy: Vasily Mikhailovich Blokhin. Stalin literally hand-picked this guy back in 1926 to run the secret police execution squad. This wasn't just a job for him, it was his life's work. While other executioners went insane or drank themselves to death, Blokhin was famous for being a cold, efficient machine. He was a major general who actually preferred to do the killing himself. He had already killed thousands of people during Stalin's Great Purge, and now he was getting his biggest challenge yet. The operation kicked off in April 1940 at a few different secret spots. Prisoners from the Kozelsk camp were taken to the Katyn forest and shot. Prisoners from another camp were killed in a prison in Kharkiv. But 6,300 prisoners from the Ostashkov camp were sent to a special building in Kalinin, where Blokhin himself was waiting to run the show. And his process there is unbelievable. He had a whole system. Every single night, he'd show up and put on his personal killing outfit: a leather butcher's apron, a cap, and long leather gloves so he wouldn't get blood on his sleeves. This is insane. Prisoners were brought in one by one, their name was checked, and then they were shoved into a soundproof room. The floor was even sloped towards a drain to wash away the blood. And Blokhin would just be standing there waiting. He even used a German-made Walther pistol, not a Soviet one, so if anyone found the bodies, they could blame the Germans. He would shoot each prisoner in the back of the head, no words exchanged. He did this for 28 nights in a row, for 10 hours a night. That's a person killed every 3 minutes on average. He is recorded as personally shooting around 7,000 Polish prisoners. After every single night, they would load the bodies onto trucks, drive them to a forest, and a bulldozer would push them into a giant hole. And for doing all this, Blokhin got a medal for skill and organization. For 3 years, nobody knew a thing. Then, in April 1943, the Germans, who were now fighting the Soviets, literally found the mass graves in the Katyn forest. The Nazi propaganda minister, Goebbels, couldn't believe his luck and immediately told the whole world to try and break up the alliance between the Soviets and the West. The Kremlin's reaction was immediate and total. Deny everything. They called it a monstrous invention and blamed the Nazis, and they stuck to that lie for 50 years. When the exiled Polish government in London asked for an international investigation, Stalin got so mad he just cut off all communication with them. The truth about Katyn became a victim of the war, buried by a monster regime and ignored by its allies who couldn't risk a fight with the USSR. For decades, if you even whispered the truth about this in the Soviet Union, you'd be in big trouble. But you can't hide a lie this massive forever. As the Soviet Union started to fall apart, the lie started to fall apart with it. Finally, in April 1990, the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev finally admitted that his own country's secret police, the NKVD, was responsible for the massacre. 2 years after that, the new Russian president, Boris Yeltsin, dropped the ultimate bombshell. He released the classified documents from Special File No. 1, including the actual death warrant signed by Stalin and the Politburo. The full, unbelievable picture was finally out there for the world to see. Then, in 2010, Russia's own government passed a declaration confirming that Stalin gave the direct order for the whole thing. If you think this story was insane and want more crazy history deep dives, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one.
The Katyn massacre wasn't just a war crime.
It was literally an attempt to decapitate a nation by killing all of its leaders, thinkers, and its entire future. This was a 50-year-long battle between a government's unbelievable lie and the quiet, powerful memory of the people who refused to forget. The story of Vasily Blokhin, the world's most prolific official executioner, is a terrifying reminder of how ordinary people can become instruments of absolute evil. Remembering Katyn and its nearly 22,000 victims isn't just about honoring the past. It's about understanding that you can never, ever silence the truth.